Oh my God! What's up guys, I'm Sean Hudspeth and I'm a professional racing driver with Ferrari. Today, we're going to be reviewing the lovely Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. Remember to like and subscribe for more video content like this. We're going to be posting regularly, and this video is brought to you by East Coast Podiatry, a specialized lower limb clinic in Singapore who are helping me with my right ankle treatment. First of all, I can't describe how excited I am to drive this car. I mean, the Ferrari V12 is probably one of the most special engines ever made, and it can actually be traced right back to the old Ferrari Formula 1 cars of the past, right at the start. You know, Enzo actually said that he refused to call a Ferrari unless it had a V12 engine. So the Ferrari Dino was actually just called the Dino because he didn't want to have the Ferrari badge on it because it didn't have a V12. So that's how sacred the Ferrari V12 is. So I've been dreaming about driving this car ever since it came out in 2012. I think I was 18 or something. The noise, I mean, even at slow speeds, you can just tell that it's just such an animal. The top speed of this car is 340 kilometers an hour, and the car will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in only 3.1 seconds. This engine is an engine that's won International Engine of the Year and was actually voted best engine above 4 liters as well. The engine is an incredible 6.3 litre V12, producing 730 brake horsepower and 509 pounds per square foot of torque. And at the time, it was the most powerful road-going Ferrari ever made. Oh my goodness. Every time I put my foot down, it's like a symphony. I'm actually a little bit emotional because the Ferrari V12 it has so much history and so much character, and I can't help feeling that it's a bit of a dying breed because, you know, with emission restrictions and carbon footprint rules and everything, the V8 is already going to a V6, so, you know, one day we won't have a V12 anymore, and that would just be heartbreaking. But you can pick one of these up in Singapore for around 600k to 700k. I'm going to put it into manual mode. Have a little bit of play with this gearbox. I'm going to put us into race mode to see if we get a different engine sound. Oh my God! Woo! That is just one of the greatest sounds ever made. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say a big thank you to my title sponsor, East Coast Podiatry. They are a specialized clinic in Singapore for incredibly fast and effective treatments. I really wanted to have them as my team podiatrist, as they have been keeping me pain-free so that I can perform at my best. When I broke my ankle, they handled my post-op treatment, and it was just amazing. This was like the ultimate test. I had to recover from a broken ankle in a matter of weeks, so they were pressed for time, working against the clock. They went all out like a pit crew, and they did different types of high intensity treatment just to get me back on track as quickly as possible. After my first surgery, I could race, but I still couldn't run. Nearly 5 months later, I had a second surgery to remove the metalwork which they put in the first time. However, I was still in too much pain to be able to run. Then I flew back to Singapore, and after just a few weekly treatments at East Coast Podiatry, I was able to run again for the first time in nearly 6 months. They really made such a huge difference for me. I've personally recommended my own parents and my friends to go and see them. So if you're looking for a clinic which is absolutely world-class at treating foot, ankle, knee, and general leg issues, East Coast Podiatry is one that you can really depend on. Now back to the car. First things first, how good does she look? I mean, absolutely stunning, especially in this triple coat yellow. It really catches the sunlight. I'm not sure about the aftermarket wheels, but you know, I'm more of a purist. It's just a sort of personal preference. So it's not just the styling with this car, like it has real aerodynamics, which were inspired by the Ferrari 599XX track-only weapon, and obviously Ferrari Formula 1 as well. So I'm gonna go through that now. So these air intakes here actually open automatically when the brakes get too hot, so air can pass through and cool the discs. However, when it's not needed, the air intakes remain shut for better aerodynamics. So these air vents here channel air into this air intake here and forces it along the side of the car, making the car more slippery and reducing drag. So here, as you can see, we have the iconic Pininfarina logo. So this was actually the last Ferrari front-engine V12 designed by Pininfarina. Here at the back, this rear diffuser helps to increase the flow of the air under the car. Therefore, the pressure difference between the bottom and the top means that there is downforce at the rear, pushing the rear of the car into the ground, generating more grip. As a result, all of this means at 200 kilometers an hour, 120 kilograms of weight of air is pushing down on the car, pushing the tires into the ground, generating more grip. That's like having a fat person sitting next to me.
Having a fat person sitting next to me.
You're not really fine.
I love the feel of this interior. I mean, it feels sporty but luxurious at the same time. I love these circular air conditioning vents. They look very sort of similar to my racing car. And the attention to detail on this yellow trim and yellow stitching on the inside is just beautiful. The steering wheel is nice, very ergonomic, very much in line with Ferrari's sort of eyes on the road, hands on the wheel philosophy. Everything is at thumb's reach. I can operate everything very easily without having to move my hands from the steering wheel. I would have preferred the longer shift paddles because it's just a little bit easier, but they are carbon fiber and they do come with these shift lights over here and the carbon fiber steering wheel. So it does have a very, very nice feel to it. Nice, I like it. So this car replaced the 599 back in 2012 and eventually moved aside for the new 812 Superfast. And it has a much more sophisticated traction control system than the 599. So it lets you have fun without letting you crash, basically. But unlike the 599, this has a dual clutch gearbox, which means that the changes are just so much smoother. What's really useful is this bumpy road setting on the steering wheel. It's an option for the Magna-Ride suspension, and what that does is that it just makes the suspension a little bit softer, which is great for everyday road use. So you can still enjoy the settings of race mode and sport mode with the gearbox and the engine and the exhaust, but you have the soft suspension of comfort mode, which is really, really great. It makes the car a lot more versatile. The steering is just so direct. I mean, it's so light. The car feels so nimble. It's hard to believe that this is a big GT car. It feels like a racing car. I love it. Absolutely no hint of understeer. And that engine, oh, that's definitely the best thing about this car. Oh, I'm in love with this car. Oh my God, I don't want to give it back. I mean, I had my expectations, but you just can't go wrong with the Ferrari V12. Wow, what a great day. I loved every second of it. This is a really, really special car. I hope you guys liked the video and leave a comment below if you have any other Ferraris that you'd like me to review. Follow me on social media to follow the racing journey and stay tuned. What's up guys, so we're here in Amoy Street Food Center where we're gonna have my favorite bak chor mee. If you know, you know. Last time I came back it was actually closed, so I was pretty sad. But now, after a long wait, it's finally time to eat my